Hey YouTube, Kiraqualia here, bringing you guys another one of my Cardfight Vanguard market price watch videos with the release of Divas Festa, and it's been at least another month since the last market price watch. I thought we were due for an update. A lot has changed since the announce of Standard, and with a lot of different rulings as well for cards, and just, the restriction list as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So to start off, we're going through the Bermuda Triangle clan, which, had a lot of hype with all the new stuff that came out with the set. We just had pre-release recently. We have the set coming out officially later this week. With it, I think the biggest card that was affected was Coral. Of all the cards, including Reindeer, Prisms, Coral seems to have, gone up in price the most, just for hype with all the new units and cards we got for it. Frontier Star originally came out in Blessings of Diva, which was at least 2 packs before this one. We saw a big buyout of this card, and not too much of the other support for Coral has been affected by the price too much, but since she is kind of an older stride, I know that, the quantities were limited basically for her compared to other units you can, including the one we got from the last pack for the Coral Stride. And we got the new Coral Grade 3 in this pack that kind of replaced Shangri-La Star and the other Coral basically for the main Grade 3 unit. So those units weren't really affected as the price as much as her. Moving right along, we have Absolute Ruler, Gluttony, Dogma. Now, this is one of the cards that was basically guaranteed a reprint as a promo in the upcoming standard set for Tachikaze, Mega Colony, and Spike Brothers. You get basically, I think they're box toppers of different strides, and this was one of the ones you could get. And just seeing its price decrease with the announcement of the reprint and the fact that, Standard did this to a lot of cards that will only be able to be played in premium format. This card was originally $75, now sitting at, the teen price range, $16 to $17. If you got rid of them at the time when they were up, it's a definite plus for you, but it's also good for the people who still want to build the G Tachikaze deck, can now at least have more affordable Gluttony Dogmas, being able to pick up ones for a whole playset for the price of originally what was just one of the Gluttony Dogmas. So pretty good there, at least. Also, Shushu Headliner Lapria. This card has also jumped up in price. We're looking at one sitting at $28, and then the rest are in the $35 to $40, $50 range, ranging just on those prices. They basically stated that you could build the Shushu deck with all the cards from Divas Festa, but still you just do need some of the older cards as well, including the original Tirua, the Lapria Strides, all definitely needed for the Shushu deck. So people are still going to want to pick those up, and that I can see as being the main deck of Divas Festa, with Coral being the most hyped up deck. This is definitely the one they focused a good amount on in this pack as like their main booster to focus on. And Prehistoric Regalia Earth, Genesis still being pretty popular with the Minerva support for the latest booster pack, Divine Dragon Apocrypha. $20, this card has definitely jumped up in price for a stride, especially since I think it's one of the biggest cards for hype from that set to go up in price for support. We've had some stuff, for Gear Chronicle and Shadow Paladin also go up, but this is really one of the biggest sub-clans I've seen from that booster pack go up in price because of the hype of everyone wanting to build Genesis, and this just being a card from an older set, GBT08 Absolute Judgment, kind of more difficult to pick up if you don't already have the card. It, along with a lot of other cards, just more difficult to get. Transmigratory Dragon, Holy Squire Dragon, also going up in price. The big thing to keep an eye out for with Standard around the corner is people wanting to mix the new cards with the old ones for premium format. So people are going to be looking to what can be the most consistent cards with the new support, and that's going to be Kagero, Royal Paladin, Oracle Think Tank, and Nova Grappler to start off. I see some Spike Brother as well, and, Tachikaze, which we'll get to later on in the video. But these Kagero and Royal, since they'll be the first ones, are the ones we see affected by most of the cards, including this card going up in price because blasters are confirmed, going to get a lot of support, Alfred, all of those in the upcoming booster pack. So they'll probably be the most consistent to mix with all their old support as well for a very good new and fresh deck for that format. And this is just one of the strides. I'm sure many of the other ones will also jump up in price, but this one definitely keep an eye out for, just for its let alone ability. Barkle also came off the restriction list, like all the other starters and a bunch of different cards as well. Unlike the other starters, though, which were commons and a little more easier to get, Barkle was triple rare and an older card as well. So we experienced a buyout. Was it the $25 range, $15 range? It's a little more reasonable. The SP is still up there at $40, but $15 for this starter if you don't already have Barkle, if you haven't saved any, and you still want to use it as your starter for the Royal Paladin deck. Pick it up now. I can see it being used with the blaster decks just for that, search effect, good ability, good starter overall for this card. Duo True Sister Meer. We also got some duo support in the newest Diva pack as well. They kind of like to go back and forth between Reet and Meer from what I've seen. And Reet was in the last pack, so I guess it was Meer's turn for the latest booster pack. And with it, we just, the Meer stride, but I think most of the duo support is generic, but people do like to try and, go back and forth between the decks. And the stride was Meer, but, let alone it is a duo card. I think it does work a little more consistently with the Meer cards in total. So we're seeing a price increase in both the white and black Meer, which I can see it affecting the black one a little more. The white one is slightly behind, but I remember them being in the single digits at one point, but they shot back up. Keep an eye out for them if you're looking to get rid of them. I see this being the kind of like the last support for the duos for at least a good while. So looking to complete the deck and get rid of it. Now when the set is coming out for the Bermudas would definitely be the best time to do so. Now moving on to a couple gen rares. Obatorandis for Mega Colony. They revealed a lot of gen rares getting reprinted for the second booster pack for Standard as the box toppers. Surprisingly, Obatorandis was not one of them. They chose to reprint the gen rare for Mega Colony from Zoo. It was a little more expensive, and I'm glad they did that because you do need to run more copies of her than Obatorandis. But, the fact that this card didn't get confirmed to reprint means it's going to hold this steady value, at least, for people wanting to build the Mega Colony decks. Because he's definitely needed for a lot of them, including the Gridora deck and just any other Mega Colony deck, because he has a really, really good effect, that's for sure. So have your copies of Obatorandis and you're looking to, keep the deck. I see it as being a solid investment until maybe we do get a revival collection or something that at least, confirms that we'll get old support reprinted. Nothing's written in stone yet. I know we're not getting anything too much besides maybe box toppers for the standard sets when we get them. But, can always hope that maybe down the road we will get something more for the big stride decks. And also Perfect Performance Ange. This goes right with the Bermuda support. Bermuda this week, hype as it can be, price is high for everything. If you have Anges, get rid of them now while you can, while they're at this high price. People buy them out, they go up, people want them. It's generic Bermuda support for basically all the decks. It's a very, very good stride as well. People want them, and you can move them, but I can see them going down once the Bermuda hype, dies down. It happens all the time. I don't know when we're confirmed to get more Bermuda support with Standard coming around the corner, but this is the best chance you can to get rid of this Bermuda stuff if you want to, at least. And another one that's like dropped in price is Rikudo Stealth Dragon Tsukumorakan. This card had a reprint in Divine Dragon Apocrypha, and this is the biggest drop for gen rares I've seen in a good while. It was the fact that you could get 3 from a case, meaning it was so much easier to get than the gen rare version, which this card was originally $40. Now it's in single digits for the gen rare copy, and the reprint's even worse. And it's still a good card nonetheless. People still use it in Nubatama. It's just so easy to get now. That's the thing. And, people want the playable version, and if there's not much of a difference between that one and the gen rare, they're going to pick the one over the other, and that will affect the price of the other one. And As for the Bermuda set, we're only looking at basically the Gen Rare of the set, Tirua, a pretty good balanced price. This is actually the price that Ange was when the set first came out. The thing is, it's kind of more not so much generic. It is specifically for the Shushu deck, unlike Ange, which could be used in everything. So that could also explain this price. And it hasn't even been officially released yet, like a lot of the Bermuda support. So if you're looking to grab these cards for your deck, I would at least wait until the set officially drops, because then you'll see a bunch of them flood the market. People will want to get rid of them. They'll be cheap if you want to complete your deck. Now is that the best time to pick it up, because then if we actually do see any increase, it will be after the set sells out, and that'll happen to mostly all the new cards in that set. So grab the stuff when the set comes out. I do see this at least going down a little bit more, maybe the mid to low $20 range, but then probably go back up again once like I said, when the price of the set is out and we no longer see those prices anymore. And now for a couple double rares. The big ones are the Luard support, just because we have Team League coming up this spring and summer, so a lot of people are going to be needing these just for the big decks to play. Same can be said for the Gear Chronicle cards as well. We have Dragsaver and also Belial just up there in prices for double rares, the $20 range. But like I said, these are going to be the big decks. The Perfect Guards as well, Arca for Gear Chronicle, are all showing these high prices for being double rares and whatnot, just because, like I said, Gear Chronicle, Luard both got new support in Apocrypha. They're very powerful, strong decks. People are going to want to use them to win, so of course the prices will be affected. And another card, because of rulings, just like Barkall, they went off the unrestricted list. Commander Laurel, new rules state you can only run one Laurel per deck when you play, meaning no one needs more than one Laurel, so that's affecting its price pretty strong. And the fact that Laurel was also shop promo for a monthly promo means that it affects the price as well. Just so much easier to get a Laurel now. So with not too much difference being in the double rare, people do want the signed printed ones as well, which are going for a little bit more money, but definitely putting it to one affects a lot of people on the market just wanting to flood and get rid of all their extra copies, that's for sure. And another Stealth Beast, Metsu, this card went up in price just because more people using it in the Nubatama Shiranui builds. It's very good. It's draw power, it's attack pressure as well, all in one card. It was kind of underestimated when it first came out in set 12, but people are seeing its worth now, and with it, a slight price increase just to grab, a playset if you do want of this card for your deck. Now the Regalia Verthandi works with, backup for Minerva in the deck, and Angelica for the grade 3. So a good one for sure, since it doesn't even require GB1 for its first ability. Good pressure on the first ride as well. It was a $1 card, shot up, and it's actually been holding this price ever since, Divine Dragon Apocrypha came out. So been pretty consistent. If you have these, move them, because I'm sure people want them for their Regalia decks. One of the better grade 3 backups, that's for sure, with Angelica. Liar Lips, a lot of the Spike Brothers support has also gone up in price. This all goes back to the standard and then wanting to mix for premium. Right after the Q4 booster pack, we're going to have the extra booster with Spike Brothers, Mega Colony, and Tachikaze, so it'll be easy to mix support with Rising Nova with all the new Spike Brothers stuff we get as well, which I'm sure will help the deck a lot out as well. So people wanting to play in premium will definitely hold on, or at least, want to cause as much chaos as they can with all the old support, building it up for sure. That's a guarantee. So can't wait to see what happens with these prices when those standard sets come out. People are worried that a lot of these old card prices will be affected, but that will happen if cards don't get support for a good while. But cards that can be played and mixed with the new support and in premium are definitely going to still retain some value, because people are going to want to play both formats, and people are going to need the old cards just as much as they need the new ones. And more double rares, just matching up the pattern with the, new Bermuda support going up in price, because Prismatic Divas is kind of out of print now. So if you want the Choo Choo Perfect Guard from this set, that price option is there. Purple Trapezist, this card actually holding some value as well. Harry decks being a thing. And I think they also announced that we're getting a new card that you cannot use Purple Trapezist with the new Jumping Jill that we're receiving, which always causes some curiosity with some players as to why we can't use it, what's going to be new about the Jumping Jill. Maybe people want to pick up Purple Trapezist because it might work out well when we get the new Pale Moon support in Premium, that's for sure. Celestials as well, that good support. I think this mostly deals with just that damage buildup for sure with this card. If you have the rare, it's gone up. Get rid of them now while you can, that's for sure. More for the Tachikaze as well. This perfect guard for Engorge. It all goes back to just, when you can use it and when you want to use it and where you can use it, basically. And this is a good perfect guard compared to the counter charge, which is quite easy to do in Tachikazes now. So if you have more Engorge options, this is definitely the perfect guard to use and prefer. And wrapping up, just Shiny Star Coral. It goes back to the Coral support as well. Price-wise, you need the grade 2 for the deck. Not so much the 3s anymore since we have the 1. Pick your backup that you want. But, you still need that Ride Chain and those consistent Soul Corals to get off the effects of your other, Strides and grade 3s. So she's a definite 4 in the deck to pick up. And lastly, we have probably one of the most hype rares for Bermuda, which was Dreamer Krook. People are now just realizing how good she is with the new Harmony support for power, boosts, bounce, all that. And most of the foil versions, the normal rare versions, are kind of lower in price. Just the ones who people who want to fully hollow out their decks want to get the foil versions, obviously, of this card. So $10 for a rare bumped up foil card, which I really did like when they did that in Academy of Divas. Just made it so you can, hollow out your deck so much more with all the different cards in the set. But yeah, that is it for this month's Market Price Watch video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Can't wait till next month to see just what all has changed with prices, with the upcoming support we'll have from the new Kai and Aichi trial decks, as well as the Q4 booster pack. But until next time, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and Kiraqualia out.